things have gone down very quickly as far as Sonam Wangchuk is concerned. He was on a hunger strike, the cause we know, but last 4-5 days have been very tough for him and also for his family, his near and dear ones, well-wishers. Being joined by Dr. Geetanjali Inmu, who is the founder CEO of HALE, which is one of the projects, one of the many projects that Sonam Wangchuk had envisioned, and she obviously playing a very critical role in this. Ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. I know this has been very tough last 4-5 days for you. So first explain to us how difficult is it to right now think about the fact that Sonam Wangchuk, who was on a hunger strike, in less than 4-5 days, he's in Jodhpur jail. So how difficult is it to comprehend, and how are you tackling this right now? Because you would be right now thinking about the legal side, how to tackle, and all other pressures, investigation.
No, he was on. He was very weak after the 15 days of strike, and then to be taken, by the police. It's very, very painful. And more painful is the fact that for the last 48 hours, I have not been in touch with him. The police here had promised that after the land in Jodhpur, they would make him speak to me, or they would speak to me. But I'm still awaiting the call. Neither have they given us the detention order under which he was taken, so that we could know in detail the charges based on which he was arrested.
Right. And coming to the charges, or even before that, if you talk of that particular day when all this happened, post that, the kind of violence that happened, the administration, the Home Ministry, the statements that came in, said that it was the provocation done by Mr. Wangchuk, be it his speeches or otherwise, that really led to this violence. And then we know what happened. So how do you view those charges as a first? When you heard that, what was your first response when you listened to those charges, and then when you compared the situation?
Yeah, not just me, but everybody in Ladakh or in India who would hear of these charges would laugh at them, because these are absolutely baseless charges. The whole country has seen that for the past 5 years he has been leading this movement and this protest in the most peaceful, in the most Gandhian way possible, be it his padyatras, be it his anshans, and he's always followed the path of non-violence and peace. So it is, everybody is aghast and know that this has been deliberately done to frame him, because given his past record and his methods, he always stood for progress, for science, for innovation, for climate work, for patriotism, working for Indian Army, asking Indians to boycott China. So everybody knows him as a great innovator, as a patriot, as a nationalist. So to be taken in NSA, which is the most draconian act, and for public safety, I mean, it is not just to me. Everybody knows that this is just have been used by people in power to use the national machinery that they have working for them to unnecessarily defame and frame, a person who is the pride of India.
Right, ma'am. Then, as you move on, the first day, and then came the Fcra, the license, or should I say registration, which was cancelled. So, that very point, it was clear that thereafter, Mr. Sonam Wangchuk, and post that, the arrest was only a matter of time. So, talking of the money laundering allegations, the fact that those funds were misused, and there is no proper receipt registration. First, can you tell us your side on that? How do you view those allegations and that particular investigation?
Sonam Wangchuk and I are the people who run this not-for-profit organization in a manner that we do not take even salaries. So every year we contribute 50 lakhs to 1 crore of our personal money into these projects. So we are always welcoming of anyone who wants to look into our accounts, which have been duly submitted to the registrar of companies, to the IT department, it would be evident that till date, Mr. Sonam Wangchuk would have contributed not less than 5 CR to the projects that he is doing. So, when you're giving your own money, then where's the money to launder? And money laundering is, by definition, using hawala and cash transactions and all of that. And our bank statements, which are there with the CBI and with the IT, clearly shows that more than 99% of our transactions happen online through bank transfers. So there is no cash transactions, and when we are putting in our own money, where's the money to launder? So all these are just big words, because a common Indian or a common citizen would not have access to these documents, and he or she would be, suddenly it would be like defamation happening, and they are using it as a smokescreen, using these big words. So it was not a CBI raid. When CBI came here, they said we are fact finding, and we were completely cooperative with them, and we gave them all the documents. And I can have that gentleman, Mr. Vishal, who came here, online to check with him if it was something that was not given to him. So when you have nothing to hide, and when you cooperate and you give all the details, then the only thing, and everybody knows that this is the way they use, as I said, the entire machinery, because they are slowly building up and trying to frame. And it is not something that started, though it might have intensified in the last 1 month, but this has started in the last 4 years, ever since he started his unction. They have delayed our registration with the UGC. Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, who is the Education Minister of India, openly told me that he will not move our file because still Sonam Wangchuk is asking for 6th schedule. They have called up all the heads of PSUs and told them not to support us with their CSR funds. This is those very, we got to know from them. They have tried to stall all our registrations, including the Fcra for HALE. And now they are saying that Fcra has been violated by HALE. It hasn't been, because Fcra is needed only for donations. But the funds that we had received is for research that we conducted for those universities. And for the government, it should be a matter of pride, because no foreign university takes research from India. HALE is the only institute which does reverse technology transfer. We don't borrow research from outside.
When you're saying that they're so adverse to this, that they're using all that to put pressure on Mr. Sonam Wangchuk, how do you weave the talks that are happening? I mean, there have been so many rounds of talks where both these issues, be it sixth schedule or be it statehood, they're discussing it. So how do you weave that then?
So that is why the whatever was visible in the people there, their anger or frustration, is because this thing is going on and on now for 5 years. And the talks which are happening are very frivolous. They are not addressing the core matter, which is legislature, 6th schedule, statehood. They are talking of all the peripheral issues which are not any more interesting to the people of Ladakh, because they have waited enough for 5 years. So that is why there was this pressure on Sonam Wangchuk, because they wanted him out of the way. Okay. Because he was the one visibly.
Was he seen the strongest stumbling block here, which obviously they didn't find same resistance from, say, the other people? You're saying that like the apex bodies?
Sonam was doing the anshans and the padyatras. So they wanted to target him to weaken this movement.
Right. And then moving further, I mean, even more dangerous charges, should I say, when they connected with the foreign hand, saying that they were probably hand from Pakistan or people from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and they even arrested an intelligence official of Pakistan, and the DGP claimed that he was in connection with Mr. Wangchuk, and then they also spoke about the fact that he had gone to Pakistan, Islamabad. So all those, they're trying to connect those dots and say that probably what he was doing was sedition, international.
No, this is just building a narrative. So the events are as follows. February, Sonam was invited to attend, along with me, both of us went, this event called Breathe Pakistan. which was organized by the United Nations in Pakistan to address climate change. And it is no news that scientists and climate activists, they are invited by everybody.
Right.
And when we are talking about the third pole, the Hindu Kush Himalayas, the glaciers are not going to see that I should flood Pakistan or India. When a glacial outburst happens, it can happen on either side. So geopolitics aside, environmentally, China, Pakistan, India, they share the same Himalayan waters of the glaciers. So if there is a conference where he is invited as an expert and as a specialist, and it's no news that he's been a climate environmentalist and innovator, having made artificial glaciers and ice stupas, he was even invited. Why did they not make a big honorable mention for him when he was invited by Nobel Foundation in Sweden for the same thing? Nobel Foundation invited him to give a talk on artificial glaciers in Sweden. So why did they not make an honorable mention about that? Why are they making such a big deal about Pakistan? And I went with him myself. My ancestors come from undivided India, and many people, Mr. Modi himself goes to China. Nobody doubts his intentions. It is not the act that has to be seen, but what is the intention behind it? Here the intention of Mr. Sonam was to work with all the great minds that would be there in the conference, so that action for climate mitigation and this can happen.
Right.
But if they have found some Pakistani here, it is not for us to answer. It is for the MHA to answer why there has been a breach of security and protocol. How did this guy enter India? It is for them to answer us rather than asking us to answer for this. And what the DSP saying is absolutely false. It is condemned and is not true.
Right. Ma'am, they also give this theory that, in fact, BJP media cell, the IT cell first brought it out that a Congress councillor was blamed for stoking this violence. And then again, he was connected with the hunger strike and the larger issue. So, one, Mr. Wangchuk, and then the Congress councillor, which obviously Mr. Wangchuk denied and said that this is not about Congress, etc. It's about the people of Ladakh. So, how about that particular aspect?
So I would not like to even comment on it, because Sonam's stand and also my stand, because I work with him, has been always apolitical. We never try and bring in parties. We address issues. We address issues of innovation for the communities. We address issues of education. We address issues of climate change. It is, if the parties are using some of this to further their agenda, I don't have any comments. I don't even wish to get into it, and neither would Sonam, because he is absolutely apolitical. In every MP election, he is invited by all the parties to represent them, and he has always stayed out of it.
Right.
So we would not like to comment on any political issues.
Right. Lastly, ma'am, it's been 48 hours since, in fact, more than that, since he's been arrested. So you have had no connection or no contact with him, and you're saying that the order, you still yet to get the order. So what next? Do you see a long legal fight ahead? How do you weave this? And who are the people right now getting? You obviously are getting a lot of support, especially from the non-political people like the climatologists or environmentalists. So you see a long legal fight, and how are you going about it?
So at this point, I would just like to wait for the formal detention order and the charges. And it would be addressed in the most appropriate way by some of the best lawyers in the country. And our response will be as per the allegations there. But it is not something that we will take lying down. We are going to fight it till the very end, because we know that we are on the side of the truth, and India is based on the foundation of Satyamev Jayate.
And lastly, about your projects, you have some very ambitious projects which obviously people not only in India or in fact throughout the world are looking up to. I went to Sekmol, and there was a school, and then there is a university that is also coming up. This is the university. So, is this impacting it? Because already your attentions are diverted. Do you see all that has happened, especially the crackdown from the government, finances? Will it impact it? What will you try to ensure that that doesn't impact, or it's gone beyond your hands?
No, it will not be impacted. We are generators of research which the government themselves use. To give an example, the buildings that you're sitting in is a passive solar heated building, which is 50 years ahead of its time, considering the whole world, even internationally. You don't even have these kinds of buildings in Canada and developed countries, which stay at plus 20 when it is minus 20 outside without any artificial heating. So the government of India has adopted this technology.
Exactly my point. I was coming to this question. Army, in fact, I heard army.
I'm going to tell you all the our projects and research which government has adopted and awarded. Okay, so the government has adopted this for the Indian Army. We have made more than 1 lakh square feet for the Indian Army on all the far flung areas like Galwan and Dras and DBO and so on. Yeah, which are very difficult to be reached. And so a person who works for the Indian Army cannot be an anti-national, and whose research has been used by the government, to build for the army. Secondly, coming to artificial glaciers, the ice stupas. So the government has adopted that and has tendered the very technology, which means they respect Sonam's innovation and they are accepting it. Third, we have done a project for agri-photovoltaics, which is to the gigawatts of power that the government wants to set up in Chantang. So we have done a project so that you can grow grass underneath. Thereby you do not displace the nomads, but you help them by giving them fodder for their goats, which otherwise die in winters. So it's win-win on both sides. And the government has adopted this project and they are going to implement it in the Skyangchutang. So this is the HALE, which they are saying that even some media channels, including some national media channels, said that nothing has happened. 40 years of lease was taken. But this is the campus where you're sitting, where in the last 7 years about 1,80,000 square feet of space has been built. More than 400 students have studied in different long and short courses, where dignitaries like the governors, erstwhile governors, and corps commanders of the army to ministries from the rest of the country have visited. We have been awarded by the Ministry of the Energy Minister for these buildings, by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs for the ice stupa, under this very government. So the government has not only been a beneficiary of our research, but has also acknowledged it and awarded it on various fronts. So the contribution of the university and Sonam Wangchuk is no news to most of us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.